an essay titled Responsibility of Public and Government to Control Dearness. Let us introduce about this topic, about this essay. Inflation is not just about rising prices, it is about how rising prices affect the life of an ordinary person. When people can no longer afford basic needs like flour, sugar, fuel, or electricity, it creates pressure not just on their pockets but on society as a whole. This pressure increases frustration, poverty, and even political instability. Inflation is not the responsibility of government alone. The public must also act responsibly. If flour that cost Rs 50 per kg now sells at rupees 140, a daily wage earner cannot feed his family. If fuel prices increase suddenly, public transport fares rise and everything becomes more expensive for everyone. This is not a small issue, it affects the whole nation. Now we move towards the definition of dearness. That is, what is dearness? Dearness or inflation is the continuous rise in prices over time. As prices rise, the value of money falls. You buy less with same amount of money. This weakens the purchasing power of family, especially those with fixed incomes. The lower and middle classes suffer the most because their salaries do not grow at the same rate as the prices of goods and services. If milk that used to cost rupees 100 per liter now cost rupees 160, a family will be forced to either cut back or spend more than they can afford. A school teacher earns rupees 50,000 per month cannot survive if rent, groceries, and transport all become unaffordable. Now we move toward the responsibility. First, we take the responsibility of the government to curb, to eliminate, to lessen the dearness. The government has a major role in controlling dearness through laws, planning, and strong institution. If it fails to make fair policies, inflation rises quickly. A government must control its spending, increase tax collection, and manage resources wisely. When this balance is lost, inflation grows rapidly. If the government prints money to cover its deficit instead of reducing wasteful spending, more currency comes into circulation without a rise in production. This increases demand but not supply, causing prices to rise. Market must be regularly checked. Markets must be regularly checked and rates must be monitored to prevent overpricing. If officials fail to enforce price lists, traders charge whatever they like. During Ramadan, if no one checks the prices, fruit vendors may charge rupees 1000 per kg for lemons or rupees 300 for bananas, while official rate is much lower. Hoarding and smuggling. Hoarding and smuggling of essential items like wheat, sugar, or petrol lead to artificial shortages. The government must take immediate action against such practices. If sugar is stored in warehouses during supply shortages and sold later at high prices, this creates profit for a few but suffering for millions. Subsidies. Subsidies can help reduce the burden on poor. The government should provide these for key items that everyone needs. Utility stores. Utility stores in Pakistan offer cheaper sugar, oil, and flour to low-income families through SAS and BISP programs. This keeps life affordable during tough times. Promoting local production. Promoting local production reduces dependency on imports. If production increases, supply rises and prices become stable. When the government supports farmers by giving seeds, fertilizers, and water, wheat and vegetable production improves. This reduces shortages and keep food affordable. Now we move toward the responsibilities that come from public. The public has the power to support or damage the economy by their daily choices. Responsible behavior from citizens reduces the pressure on market. People must avoid selfish buying, report wrong practices, and support local production. Inflation cannot be fought without people's support. When people hear that petrol prices are increasing, many rush to fill their tanks, even if they do not need it. This causes panic and long queues, and petrol pumps run dry. The same applies to sugar, flour, and ghee when panic spreads. If someone is being charged, if someone is being charged, overcharged in a local shop, they must report it to price control authorities. Staying silent encourages exploitation. If tomatoes are officially priced rupees 180 per kg but are sold at rupees 300, reporting the seller can prevent this from becoming the new normal. Using local goods. Using local goods is not only reduces the demand for imports but also supports the national economy and protects jobs. Using local goods not only reduces the demand for imports but also supports the national economy and protects jobs. Choosing Pakistani made goods, choosing Pakistani made biscuits, detergents, or rice instead of imported brands keep money in local market and encourages the local businesses. Wise budgeting and reducing waste helps households control their expenses. It also reduces the strain on demand in wider market. A family that spends rupees 1000, 6000 a month on eating but can reduce inflation pressure by preparing meals at home and buying in bulk during discounts. Public awareness. Public awareness can prevent exploitations. When people are informed about their rights, they make better choices and influence others to do the same. When price lists are shared on social media or discussed in local gatherings, more people become alert and responsible. This creates a community that supports fairness. Now we move toward the joint actions. Fighting inflation requires both government system and citizen support to work together. Neither side can succeed alone. When both act in a coordination, inflation can be managed more effectively. Inflation can be managed more effectively. Technology, transparency, and education are essential tools in this effort. Mobile apps. Mobile apps can help citizens know the official price of fruits, vegetables, and groceries and report overpricing in real time. In Punjab, Qimat Punjab app allows people to check official market prices and file complaints if vendors charge more. Local communities. Local communities can be formed to monitor prices, expose orders, and help administration maintain fairness. When residents of a town work with local officers to track prices and monitor warehouses, black marketing can be stopped easily. When people understand the reason for inflation and learn how to stop wisely, they can protect themselves and influence others. Community radio, school campaigns, or short videos can teach people how to budget and avoid panic buying and compare prices before shopping. Tax reforms. Tax reforms are key to long-term stability. If rich pay fair taxes, the government would not need to increase fuel prices or utility bills to cover gaps. When wealthier citizens contribute more through taxes, the burden is not passed to the poor in forms of expensive electricity or sales tax. Now we move toward the conclusion of the essay. Inflation is more than an economic issue. It is a national test for patience, cooperation, and responsibility. The government must plan wisely, spend honestly, and regulate markets fairly. The public must act responsibly, stay informed, and think long term. Only together we can create a stable economy where basic needs are affordable for all. A country where sugar, bread, fuel, and electricity are out of reach cannot progress. But a nation where citizens and leaders share responsibilities can overcome any crisis. Thank you very much.